Have you ever felt entirely alone while sitting right next to your partner?
Oh, that is such a heavy feeling.
Yeah, it's this quiet kind of isolation that, well, so many of us experience, especially as we get into our 60s and 70s.
Right, because you spend decades building a life with someone, and yet somehow you can still feel completely unseen.
Exactly. So today's deep dive is based on this profoundly honest, personal essay we read recently. It's about a man who hit that exact wall.
But instead of, continuing to beg for intimacy, he found a really surprising path to peace.
Right. A complete shift in mindset that we are going to tease apart today.
And this essay just really struck a chord because it captures that pure exhaustion of, well, performing for someone who just isn't looking.
Yeah, I mean, our mission today is to extract the practical steps from his experience. We want to explore how to protect your emotional well-being in later life.
Especially when you realize you cannot change the people around you, but you absolutely can change how your brain processes that distance.
So the essay opens on what looks like a perfectly normal morning. The author is in the kitchen making coffee. And his partner walks in, senses something is off, and asks, "What's wrong with you?"
And his immediate instinctual reply is just, "Nothing, I'm fine."
Which, of course, he wasn't.
Right, not at all. He was carrying this profound loneliness. And what he highlights isn't just the pain of feeling disconnected, but the futility of trying to explain it.
Because he had tried before.
Right, exactly. But putting words to his pain never seemed to change the dynamic. It only led to a different kind of pain, a hollow intimacy driven by obligation.
And there's a massive difference there. I mean, getting attention out of guilt versus that fundamental human need to feel truly chosen.
It's completely different.
It reminds me of a worn-out record playing in a long marriage. You have had the same desperate argument so many times that the grooves are just worn flat.
That is a perfect analogy.
So eventually, silence simply feels safer than putting the needle down and repeating a pain nobody wants to hear.
Yeah, because when a partner responds out of guilt, it just breeds resentment on both sides. The mechanism at play is a constant stress response.
Right, so every time he asked for connection and got obligation instead, it felt like a fresh rejection.
Exactly. His nervous system registered it as a threat. So to stop that physiological cycle, he had to stop seeking validation from a source that just was not going to provide it.
Which brings us to his turning point. He decides to stop measuring his worth by whether his partner notices his pain.
And he asks himself this really striking question.
Yeah, he asks, what kind of man do I want to become, even if nothing around me changes?
That is where the psychological concept of radical acceptance comes in. By asking that question, he is rewiring his brain.
He is detaching his self-worth from her validation.
Right. Instead of trying to control her reaction, which is impossible anyway, he takes absolute authority over his own healing.
I have to push back here, though. For you listening, if you've been married for 40 years, stopping the pursuit sounds exactly like giving up.
I can definitely see why it sounds that way.
Right. I mean, if you completely stop asking for intimacy and just accept the distance, aren't you essentially waving a white flag and quietly divorcing while still living in the same house?
It might look like that from the outside, but psychologically, it's the exact opposite.
How so?
He isn't abandoning the marriage, he is abandoning a toxic cycle of expectations. Look at his specific actions in the essay. He didn't sit in the dark and wallow.
No, he cleared his head, played some games, and actually left the house.
Right. He went to a local sports bar alone, ordered a drink, and watched the World Cup final. He broke the stress cycle by finding joy independently.
So by taking the needle completely off that worn-out record, he realized the silence in the room wasn't a punishment.
No, it was peaceful.
Wow. So the strongest thing you can do for your mental well-being is to stop forcing people to understand what they have chosen not to hear.
Precisely. Once he stopped chasing the reflection of himself in someone else's eyes, he finally got to see himself clearly.
I love that. Taking care of your mental well-being in your later years is not a selfish act. It is a fundamental necessity.
Absolutely. You cannot control another person's capacity for connection.
But you have total control over how you nurture your own peace.
And when you stop trying to force the music to play, that newfound strength often changes the entire dynamic.
It shifts the energy in the home from desperation to just quiet confidence.
Which is so empowering.
It really is. So it leaves us with an important question for you to ponder today. When you finally find peace in your own company, how might that self-assurance actually reshape the relationships around you?
Have you ever had a moment where choosing your own peace completely changed a relationship dynamic?
We would love to hear your experiences. Please let us know in the comments below. Sharing your story might just be the exact thing someone else needs to hear today.
I really could.
Well, if you found this deep dive helpful, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more trusted, healthy aging videos from our community. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. Remember, every small healthy habit makes a beautiful difference.